One of the things I've noticed lately is that people are more willing to look at their fears and face them, and they're more willing to step outside their comfort zones. And I think it's because people are letting themselves have bigger dreams. And I have to say that they've become more committed to their dreams than they are to playing it safe. At least that's what I've seen. They know that if they play it safe, living their dreams will probably never happen. Hi, I'm Deborah Poneman, founder of Yes to Success, where we share knowledge and tools for you to live your ultimate life. And I'm sure that you've heard so many teachers say, if you're not scaring yourself every day, you're not thinking big enough. And I agree. Something my friend Mary Pat Knight of Leaders Inspired says, when you do something outside your comfort zone, not only is that where your success lies, but your comfort zone expands. So if here is your comfort zone, and this is where you're playing, and then you do something outside your comfort zone, well, you saw it wasn't that hard. And now your comfort zone is this big. So now you're willing to do something outside your comfort zone again. You saw it wasn't any big deal. And now your comfort zone is this big. The remarkable reward of constantly doing things outside your comfort zone is that doing the hard stuff becomes easy when you get that momentum going. And then there comes a point where you're called on to take the big risk, the one where you're really called upon to stand up for your truth, to risk something big. I was on a call a while ago with the diversity committee of the Transformational Leadership Council, and we were talking about how one of the greatest reasons we don't stand in our truth is that we're afraid that we might lose friends or clients. So we do this dance to try and please all the people all the time, which basically will never happen and it'll never work. It's just not possible. My friend Lisa Nichols, who actually got married yesterday, congratulations to Ms. Lisa Nichols Hall, she shared something that really struck at the heart of this. She said, the times demand that you evict the need to protect your image. So what does that mean? Evict the need to protect your image. Well, it's a scary thing to do, but it doesn't look like this. I totally support, for example, Black Lives Matter, but I'm not going to say it on my podcast. What if I lose the people who aren't into equality and social justice? So basically, you're willing to compromise your beliefs and values and the impact that sharing them can have on the future of the planet to protect your database. Have you noticed that people who change the world don't play it safe like that? You know, it doesn't take courage to be silent, and it's not convenient to speak up. But truth is never convenient, and growth is never convenient. Lisa went on to say, this I know for sure. For every 7 people who leave your database, 70 will come in if you stand in your truth. When I made the commitment to stand in my truth, I'm sure I lost more than 7 people, but I'm sure that I gained more than 700. And more importantly, I gained self-love and self-respect. If you stand up for your truth, whatever that is, and lose friends, are those the friends you want in your life anyway? If you lose followers, are those your people anyway? And it's not that I want people to leave my community who have different views than I do. Everyone is entitled to their own views, worldviews, political views. But I used to stay silent because I was not okay with people not liking me. But I'm fine with it now because that's what the world demands. It demands that you take a stand. What I'm not fine with is being silent about warmongers or silent about inequality or silent about anyone thinking that they're better or more worthy than anybody, regardless of the color of their skin or their religion or their sexual orientation. I'm so not okay with that. And it takes courage to be brave and stand up for truth when it can affect your livelihood. But courage and bravery don't come with convenience. If it's true conviction, it will cost you something. And the greatest cost could be your life. So what? I mean, this bag of bones is definitely not the end of the line. When we can't find the courage to stand up for the truth, it's usually out of fear or lack of trust because what our soul is telling us to do is in unknown territory, and it's easier to play it safe. If we play it safe, we don't run the risk of doing the wrong thing. But fear shows up not because it's the wrong path, but because it's the right path. If you're not afraid, you're not playing big enough. Fear shows up as you get closer and closer to making your true contribution to the world. And no one promised any of us that life would be easy or safe. And when you overcome the big challenges, the really scary stuff, that's when the greatest growth takes place. It really has very little to do with outcomes anyway. The outcome isn't even really the point. It has to do with listening to your inner voice, listening to that truth inside of you, trusting your intuition, doing what your intuition is asking you to do, even if it's scary. Sometimes people say to me, but I don't know what my intuition is telling me to do. Yes, you do. You just don't know if you want to do it. Because intuition is not linear. And sometimes what that voice tells you to do seems unreasonable. But when you listen, you're putting the outcome in the hands of that intelligence that is greater than you, that intelligence that knows exactly what she is doing. One of my favorite quotes in the Bible is from Psalm 126, and it goes like this. When a man says, show me, and I will trust you, God says, trust me, and I will show you. So I'm going to tell you a little trick, because I know that what I'm telling you to do is not that easy. But next time you're in a situation when you're faced with an obstacle or you're afraid to take a step or a stand, do this. Stop. Locate where the fear, where the tension is residing in your body. It might be in your throat because you're afraid to speak up. It might be a tension in your heart, in your gut. You feel like you just got kicked in your gut. Breathe into it and ask what that tension is there to tell you. I promise there will be a message. The first time it might be difficult to follow the promptings of that message, but you will be rewarded so generously if you do that you won't be able to wait until the next time it speaks to you. And each time you follow that intuition, each time you follow that voice, it will get easier and easier and easier. And then it starts being actually fun. You just have to surrender and trust. And I love this final quote from my son. He didn't make it up, but he shared it with me. And he said this, he said, quote, you relax on a plane, even though you don't know the pilot. You relax on a ship, even though you don't know the captain. You relax on a bus, even though you don't know the driver. Why don't you relax in your life knowing that the Creator is in control? Just saying. Have a great week.